Welcome back to our anniversary episode here on the Tony and Tim Show. Just before the break, we talked about the big game of the weekend, Chelsea taking on an unbeaten Liverpool side. But things kick off earlier than that game there on at 2:30 p.m. Manchester United, fresh out of the Carabao Cup, will be going over to a West Ham side that has shown signs of rejuvenation in the past couple of games. West Ham will be hosting Manchester United at the London Stadium. That game is the early kickoff. Yeah, Tony, it's a big game, West Ham taking on Man United. But as soon as you mention Man United, the topic changes from being football to egos. We've seen Paul Pogba and Mourinho at wars, and it's so disappointing that we talk about Man United in that aspect, and yet there's football to talk about. But it's a game that the United guys have to pick up. I mean, football has to continue. We love the game, and I think Mourinho will try to field out a strong side against West Ham. It's just not sure. We're not sure who will play Pogba or not. So it's really not looking like a football game, this one. It's very interesting. West Ham, like we said just before we go to Manchester United, have bounced back from the early poor season form. They now have 4 points from the last two games. We know the last draw came against Chelsea. A very, very well balanced game. They tried to play well, and in a midweek beat a Macclesfield side 8 goals to nil. So that shows you the kind of hunger they are now showing. It's a game that if Manchester United comes with all that problems and unfootballing issues, it might be a big problem for them there, of course. And now they be coming into this game. The problem for me, for Manchester United, is that the problems are not only between Mourinho and Pogba. It seems like Mourinho is attacking everyone else, and it's certainly not looking very good for them. But this is the game that I think Manchester United can still win 2-1. Tony, with the performance of West Ham last week against Chelsea, I still see another draw here. I've gone for 2-2. Very, very interesting. Of course, that game will be coming to you at 2:30. Don't forget, West Ham are still in with 4 points only in their last two games coming there, but they're still in 17th place, just outside the relegation zone. Manchester United on 10 points, of course, in 7th, just behind the top sides there. And of course, that game will be followed up by big games. Arsenal will be taking on Watford. This is a mouth-watering clash because these two sides have thoroughly enjoyed each other in the past couple of games, and we come into this game with both sides being very informed. Arsenal, 6 wins in a row now in all competitions after their 2 early losses in the season. They find themselves in 6th place, 12 points. Watford are still languishing in Champions League place. Yeah, they're actually 4th, Tony. The only thing is Arsenal has an incentive in this game. They're just 1 point, I think, behind Watford. So a win for Arsenal takes them above. But Watford has come to Emirates before, and I think they've had a win in this Emirates side. So they'll be coming and knowing that they actually have beaten Arsenal in 2 out of the last 3 games. So if they say we're going to attack, they should be able to pick something. They dipped a bit after losing to Man United, but they came last weekend, Tony. We saw them playing well against Fulham, though they do that game. So it's another game, Tony. If Arsenal doesn't pay much caution, it can go either way. And of course, we've talked about how they've been playing very well up front with Troy Deeney and Andre Gray. They are having a very solid partnership, but it's the game that they played in midweek, the 2-2 draw against Spurs, which they lost in penalties, the Ep12 Cup, which I think might have tired them more than what Arsenal had in the midweek, and I've gone for 2-0 Arsenal win. I think Arsenal win this 2-1. Very interesting. And of course, during that same time, 5 p.m, we'll be having Manchester City in 2nd place, 16 points. They'll be hosting a Brighton side that's finding themselves on 5 points and in 13th place. I've gone for 4-0 Man City win. I've given Brighton a goal, so I've gone for 4-1. Very interesting there. We don't expect this side to be matching Man City. No. It's one of those teams that doesn't play games when it comes up against the bottom side. And Tony, we know Man City is on 16 points, and they're just waiting for a slip up by Liverpool, and they go on top. And we all know if a City side tops, it's hard to bring them down. So they should be able to win this comfortably. Beautiful football there that City have been playing all season. And then that game, of course, during that same time, we'll be having Huddersfield Town, a team that has no win in any of the competitions so far. They'll be hosting a Spurs side that just sneaked into the 4th round of the Carabao Cup on penalties after beating Watford in midweek. Gone for 3-1. I think Tottenham will win this comfortably. I've gone for 2-0. Very interesting there, and of course we'll be bringing you the rest of the fixtures there on that particular weekend, all the games predictions. Don't miss any of that on our Facebook, Instagram and Twitter pages. Don't forget to watch all our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel as we celebrate 1 year while serving you here on the Tony and Tim Show. We have a lot of interesting games as well coming up on the weekend. We have in Italy, Juventus will be taking on Napoli, first against second, which is a brilliant game after knowing Cristiano will only be missing one game in the Champions League.
Yeah, Tony, I think Cristiano is the happier of all these fracas, Tony, and he'll be able to play this game knowing that he will be missing out in the Champions League midweek.
Of course, very interesting there. And in Spain, we'll be having a very interesting derby. Real Madrid, fresh from a 3-0 thumping at Sevilla, will be taking on Atletico Madrid, a team that is just below them in the log. They can't afford any slip-ups against this Atletico side, especially given that Barcelona also lost in midweek. They must now start taking advantage of these slip-ups from the people around them.
Yes, Tony, if you're to win in the La Liga, you have to look at your nearest opponent, and to Madrid, it's Barcelona. So they have to keep picking points from other teams before the two of them can
Prediction, Real Atletico.
1-1.
Very interesting prediction there from Tim. I think Real can beat them 2-1 there that have gone for. And of course, there will be other particular games at the weekend. Like I said, don't miss our predictions. And goodbye for now.
Goodbye.